And what do you suggest? Do I look somewhere? Like, give me any tips. Oh, that's like the audience. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Uh-huh. They like a side angle. I think eventually, yeah, I just want to test it out, see what works. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. Okay, thank you. Yeah. Perfect. Okay, light. Okay. So excited. Okay. Okay. Hi, you guys. Welcome back to all new episode of Black Girl Can't Cook. I'm your host, Brianna Pollins. It has been a hot second, and I'm here in studio. I'm here in Midtown Manhattan at WTF Media Studios, Black owned, might I add. Last time we talked was March, and I'm just like grinning. I'm smiling because I can't believe we're here. I can't believe we've made it. Happy July. It was just America's birthday. Happy Juneteenth. Stay woke. The debates happened. The housewives are a mess. We're halfway through the year. And I'm like, I feel uncomfortable because I left you guys. It's been 3 months. I really want to take a second to thank Bree Nunn, my last guest, and then Danielle Richards, my second to last guest. The interviews with those two women were so incredible, the feedback I got, but it was really inspiring to start the year off just listening to Black women who take care of themselves, who have different perspectives, who just like love their bodies and like love the skin they're in. I've been healing, I've been growing. No, really, if we're to get serious, I think I'm going through my Saturn return. Your Saturn return happens between like 28 to 30, and it's like the stars, the moons. It's fucking real. It's real. It's very much real. And so to that, so much change, so much metamorphosis, so much, I think, grieving. Have we all been grieving? It is fucking nuts that COVID is 4 years later. 4 years later, so it's like completing high school and like it's your senior year and you have like Stockholm syndrome because you want to like stay in high school, but you have to like go out into the world. But like so much has happened. And I think the last year of my life and the living situation was so toxic, so tough. My heart really goes out to you if you're living with a roommate, with a parent, with a caregiver, and it's just an awful environment. It takes a lot to pull yourself out of that. But with the grace of God and looking on Zillow and Craigslist, I moved into my own apartment. And so, speaking of home, it's so funny we talk about home as it's literally Cancer season, and Cancer's a water sign, and it rules the home. And what does home feel like to you? Not everyone comes from like a privileged family life. And I think as we get older, as I turn 30 in November, I'm really just like, what does home mean to me? And I turned 30 in November. Y'all, September makes it 10 years of living in New York. I cannot believe it. I'm just in awe. I'm like 10 years consecutively and through COVID, through the panorama, the pandemic, all of it. It's crazy, but I feel really, really grateful. I feel thankful. And I've just taken time to grieve and to like mourn. I think the loss of our younger selves. I don't know. 29 is such a bizarre, weird year because you're in deep reflection. Like I'm thinking of everything up into my life right now. So like 16 me, 12 me, 8 me, 22 me, last year me. There's so much just, is it like intergenerational trauma? I mean, that too, all of us. But I think I know so much lives in the body and stays in the body. And it's just so important that we take time to heal and to ground ourselves. And two, like being a young like woman, being in New York City, being a girl out in the world, being a Black woman, you have to like live your life. I think it was such a great little hiatus, such a great break because I was able to like experience life and to live and just what had happened was that I had that great interview with Danielle and my mic broke. My microphone broke, and I just didn't feel the need to like one, spend the money, and two, my heart wasn't in it, and three, I had to grieve and I had to mourn and I had to cry the last 2 years, getting dumped, my first serious relationship, losing my great grandma. I had her in my life for 28 years. She was like 103. And then losing my dog, losing my childhood dog, my family dog. There was just so much to unpack and to sit with. And I really want to thank you guys for just giving me the time and the space to do that. And y'all, what I say in every episode, follow me on the gram. I cannot believe I'm saying it. I'm on the TikTok. And not only that, I'm on Instagram. So, like, if you've been with me, you've been seeing me live my life and truly enjoy it. And might I even add, like, stepping into like the influencer, not even the influencer world, but I just think putting yourself out there. I'm putting myself out there. I'm going to events. I love New York fucking city. I love the Black women in like wellness and beauty spaces. There's never been like a better time to be here and to be me. So, it's been great. It's been great. And hello to so many new followers. I've met so many kind, uplifting, caring, curious people. I feel like being sheltered, living in Arizona, everyone was the plain old same Jane. And I love New York because of the exposure, the simple exposure. I love that at 18, before graduating high school, my mom was like newly divorced. Y'all know those divorce fees. And she really helped me get to travel to Europe for like 2.5 weeks, and just getting the exposure to meet people from all different backgrounds. It really just like opens your eyes and it makes you kind of feel human, which I think we all need in this day and age and everything that's happening. But hi to so many new followers. And this is a show. This is a podcast on body image healing, cooking, self-love, eating disorder, recovery, support, mental illness, the housewives, maybe some Bravo shows. Um it's about community. More importantly, it's about self-acceptance. I want myself, but I really want you to love the skin you're in, feel confident, be happy, be whole, and not need any like not need any outsources or resources or things to make you feel beautiful. Like you're beautiful within you. And we're living in such an insane, I'm 29 and it feels like, I mean, I'm not that old. But the older girls are like saying it feels like we're in that time of like, heroin chic and like skinny and like Kate Moss and it's but also, like, what is your reality? What is your perception? Who are you following? In my reality, I see all different bodies. I see different women from different backgrounds, different walks of life, different economic class status, loving themselves, fucking with themselves, being happy, being confident with who they are. So I think perception plays such a big role. And on this show, I'm going to have guests on, I'm going to interview women who love their body, who feel comfortable in their skin. And of course, like that takes time. Like not every day is the same. And y'all, the stats are not lying. I now being of age and older, having girlfriends who have children who are like young girls, it's crazy the society and what we're bringing them up in with the TikTok, with the Kardashians, with the Ozempic. Oprah, we are praying for you. We are. And listen to the last episodes. I was sick. Oprah is in the hospital with tummy problems, with tummy troubles because of Ozempic. This shit is so real and she's like come back. She's apologized, and the culture of weight loss and stop listening to these celebrities. Celebrity idolizing anyone but like your higher power is a false god. False god. Taylor Swift, a great song. But hi, new followers. These are a set of questions I ask every guest that come onto the show. It was so crazy. I thought of this idea. It was the pandemic, 2020. I had fallen in love. I was living with my ex in Astoria, Queens. Shout out Queens. There's a lot of Trumpers in Queens, though. No judgment. We are all people, but stay safe, y'all. But I love Astoria. I love Queens. I love Jackson Heights too. They have great, 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 incredible food. And it was COVID. I now have like the hindsight and the retrospect to really be like, I had the most incredible, like beautiful, loving, peaceful COVID. Sometimes I'm still like, take me back to COVID. And I'm really sensitive when I say that because I know COVID was, and I stayed in New York the whole time. It was very dark. It was very sad. It was people lost lives. There was like bodies full of U-Hauls in Brooklyn. I feel like my reality was rare, and during that time, and everyone was cooking, baking. I really got on my Martha Stewart bullshit, and it was just one, we're gonna get into it. We really become our mothers. And I will say I was like domesticated in a sense, but also like as a woman and like just biology, that like 25 to 30, like it feels impossible to like not want to get pregnant, not want to be in love and not like want to be a homemaker, have a home, take care of yourself, take care of like your puppy, your dog, your man, your partner, whatever. And in that time, I started this like food blogging. It's Black Girl Can't Cook because I live in New York City. I don't need to know how to cook, and now I live on my own. I have a cute little compact modern kitchen, but I don't need to cook and I don't want to cook. And it feels kind of like a slave labor to cook, and I bring this up in, like, earlier episodes. Growing up, seeing both my parents work, but then, like, my mom having to cook the Sunday dinner having to see my mom cook the Sunday dinner meal, and it's Sunday dinner meal, y'all, Black community, Black folk, it's a big Sunday dinner meal. It's, like, a big deal, the collard greens, the chicken, the beans. My mom would cook, we'd do church, we'd do shopping, then she'd, like, be in the kitchen for hours, and then having her be like, "Oh, Brianna, like, go serve your dad, like, his plate, his platter." Something about that matriarchal, nuclear family, see, that just I, like, looked down at my mom, I'd always, like, roll my eyes, I was just like, "Why are you serving this man after you were Mommy, this nigga can't get off the couch and come get his plate? Make it make." And I love my dad, I love my dad, and I love my mom, but it was Black Girl Can't Cook. During COVID, I started cooking. I had a great first relationship, and my ex really brought me into the New York food scene, like just eating at La Boucherie, the Nomad Hotel, trying all this great new cuisine. We traveled to Singapore. We went to Bali, Indonesia. It was my first great love, and it had to end, unfortunately. But that really got me thinking, like, you look at Food Network, you look at HGTV, there's like not my idol. I think of Anthony Bourdain. There's not a Black woman in that space. So here I am, and I live in New York City. I go out to eat and I just review restaurants. But I think the main focus is our relationship with food, right? Like, what is your first memory with food? I think growing up, I had two brothers. I'm the middle, the only girl. And it was just a competitive of like, my body would change, but like my brothers could eat Twinkies, donuts, a salad, and like they would just be so skinny, so thin. And I hated that shit. I hated it. I hated it. And I was so envious. I was so jealous. And the podcast is like a hybrid food, cooking, but also talking about body image issues. Have you struggled with an eating disorder? I would say American women, like 90% have. Body dysmorphia. Body dysmorphia is so real. And I've been through periods of my life where you maybe you like lose a certain weight or you gain a lot of weight and like you just don't feel in your body. You can't believe what's in front of your eyesight. So like then you're fitting in really tight clothes or then like you're like in really baggy clothes. We internalize so much as American women. And I think it's important to show ourselves grace. I think forgiveness. Forgiveness is playing such a big role in like being 29 and growing up. And I think when you can really forgive yourself, it makes it so much easier to forgive others. So, got out of the relationship, epic breakup, and I lived in the West Village. I lived in the West Village for about 9 months. That was amazing. That was sick. And I had to take a break. I had to take a break from podcasting, from making art, because I had to experience the grief and the loss. And so much has happened. And thank you guys for joining me today. Since we last talked in March, so much has happened. Like, I've been to so many events, you guys, I can't even tell you. I wanna say I've been to about 3 or 4, and one of my favorites has been Transparent Black Girl, ran by Yasmin. It's an incredible brand about women's empowerment, health, wellness, mental space. And they had like an anniversary class. It was downtown at Pevolve. And then I just went to their mental health girl walk over here, Hudson River Park. She collaborated with Asics. We had like nice shoes, water bottles. It was so incredible. It was so amazing. And I just love that there are other Black minded. Oh my God, I just said black-minded, but there's like-minded Black women in the health and wellness space. This is something I've never seen. I love to surround myself with women who are like doing things that like I inspire to do. So, and in those events, I've met so many other cool women and just like-minded people. And it really feels like people are dusting themselves off of COVID, off of grief. We've all been grieving, right? Right. Another event I went to was Brooke Devard. She hosts the Naked Beauty podcast. And y'all, she had a conversation with pros. It's like a hair care speaking event. I'm manifesting a talk show there, or a talk, an event, a thing. She hosted it with them, and then Jenna Lyons, and that was like 2-3 months ago, like right at the start of summer, spring ending, and that event was fucking fabulous. It was a live podcast show. Y'all know I love the housewives and Jenna Lyons. Oh my God. Oh my God. You guys, the rock on her finger. Oh my gosh. I was just like, that's manifestation. That is, and I mean, of course, material and love and like engagement, but just I'm a Jenna Lyons fan now, and she spilled tea. She spilled tea about the housewives and just like her as a brand. But really, Brooke Devard is like an amazing podcast host. Like, I just really, she's a big inspiration for me just on how she like asks her questions. And she's so, I love how she sounds, but just she's so delicate and she's so like thought provoking. And what I really love about women or women in this space is just being curious. I think before, and if you listen to older episodes, there might be some like, rudeness or some nagging. I really feel like stepping in halfway to almost to 30, halfway to 29. I'm really trying to lead more of a curiosity mindset. I want to be curious. I don't want to judge other women if they're, getting plastic surgery, if they are taking Ozempic. I want to stay open and be curious. And I don't want to like belittle anyone. And also, I don't want to look down on anyone. We are all the same. And I think right now in America, we're all collectively feeling the same things, which might be rage. But that was such a fun event. And again, at that event, I met so many other cool, amazing women and just like swapping contacts. And it's been weird. It's been weird because, like, well, it hasn't been weird. Excuse me. I haven't recorded since March, but when I do meet people, I am like, "Oh, yeah, I have a podcast." Da, da, da. And as an artist, as a creative, if you're not making your art, it can be like, "Well, wait, do I say that? Am I not I'm not doing it. I'm really not doing anything. I'm just a person. I'm just in the world. I work at Circle K. I don't." But it's okay to take time off and to rest. And I really confidently would just say, "Oh yeah, I have a podcast. I do this, this, that." Shout out to my girlfriend Lee Ann. She has an incredible business and she made my little talk show cards, but she also made my business cards. She also made my new YouTube banners. Leanne, I love you deep. Thank you so, so much. And it's okay to take a break. Take a break from your art, live your life. And getting outside is interesting because like being single, it's like you want to like maneuver, you want to like hang out with people, but also I'm in such hermit mode. Like I want to do what I want to do. I feel like I don't feel like I know there will never be another time in my life where I am this like free, single, no man, no kids, no like big responsibility, no mortgage, no debt. I'm like leaning into this fully, completely. So I've been to some events. It's been amazing. It's been really fun. In April, you Guys, I went to my first wedding. I went to my first wedding ever. Is that crazy? It might be crazy. But speaking of the election, 2020 and COVID, it was dark because I lost a lot of friends and a lot of people in my life were just like Donald Trump and the violence and Black Lives Matter and the whole thing. A lot of friends from my hometown. We just weren't friends anymore because they did not see that my blackness was important to them, long story short. But all of that, so like maybe in the span of the last 5, 4 years, I should have been to weddings, but I haven't. And time goes on and life moves on. And what's crazy too, just like let's tie it in, there is a war happening. And I don't want to be like ignorant or arrogant about that. But I live in New York City and I have so many deep, beautiful, wonderful friends in the Jewish community. And I don't want to speak on what I don't know, right? But also learning the lesson from 2020 and cutting off, burning so many bridges, so many friendships over Donald Trump, over the election, over racism. I don't want to do that this time moving forward. I think it's important to take time to talk to all your friends, listen about where they come from, their perspective. I was so young and I was so hurt. And I think rightfully so. It's kind of crazy when your best friends like from 10 or 8 are kind of like, Brianna, unless it's your black mother or your black brother on the ground or you for that, unless it's you, like we don't really care about these issues and we're going to do this and vote this way and think that that's crazy. So, no regrets, truly. And I feel okay with that. But now this and what's happening, we have to free Gaza, but I think I'm moving differently and speaking to like my Jewish friends. Obviously, not supporting any radical side of either plane. So, like the Zionists or like the radical that are like supporting Hamas, but also like we're in America. They don't teach us shit about this war thing. Is anyone else still triggered from like 9/11 and like that whole stuff? So, long story short, that's like aside and tie into all the stories. I had my first wedding. It was in Vegas. Shout out to S&T. I don't want to say their names, but they had a beautiful wedding. And also, let's talk about Vegas. I'm an Arizona girl. I'm a desert girl through and through. I do love the sun. One, there is a difference between dry heat and humidity. There is a difference. This swamp ass, wet ass, this humidity in New York. It's good, but it's a lot. I love the desert so much, and the wedding was incredible. Now that it was my first wedding and I've done it, you guys, follow the wedding itinerary. I should have like came in on the day of, but I came a day later, no big deal, and it was so much fun. Vegas is a trip. The energy the energy feels dark in the casino because I'm like, are these men gambling off their children's education, their wives' homes, their grandpappy's like ranch? The energy felt weird, but it was like also fun. It kind of felt like New York in a sense of just like eccentric personalities. The fashion was wild. I saw like the water show, but shout out to S&T. They are such a great couple because like it was like just like a big house party of all their friends and like when you like meet. I met S when like I just moved to New York. She was actually, I think I can say her name. I met Sarah. She was literally on the episode. Check out her episode. She was on the podcast and I met her. She was like one of my first New York City friends. We met, we went to John Mayer together, and to see her and her man like get married, it was so beautiful. It was so gorgeous. But they like bring just people together and friends together that are just like from all walks of life. But like, it's so weird and so amazing when you can like get along with everyone. Like, right, when there's like no beef, there's no squash, there's no weirdness, no mix, there's just a good zhuzh and cohesiveness. So the wedding was incredible. I wore this sick dress. I got it from Marshall's, literally less than $50. It was orange. There was a boy there. There was a boy at the wedding, but he had a girlfriend. And also, I'm like so really self centered. So, like, me, me, me. I didn't even like realize I was like into him or that he was cute or there was like a banter until it was like the last night, karaoke. He's literally gone. He's literally gone. But it was that weekend was crazy. It was the weekend when Taylor dropped the Tortured poets department people. She dropped that album, had that wedding, and it was just then I think there was like a new moon or a full moon. It was crazy, but it was so beautiful. And I think being a single young woman, having friends, I think it's important not to idolize anyone's relationship. There's no one's relationship that I'm like, "Oh, I want that. I'm not no, 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 because we don't know what happens behind closed doors. People are different, and I don't think you should idolize anyone's really, not even your parents. Don't do it. But what I will say is I love hanging out and being with my married friends, like friends who are just married and married couples. There's like a sense of like security, but also like autonomy. Marriage is fucking nuts. And that's why I still believe in it, because like you can still like be your own separate people and like have your own individual lives. It's possible. It is possible. And I really just admire them so much because they're like both creative, they support each other. I do regret, I'm like, should I have said a speech? Oh my God, the guy I was into was like, oh, I'm surprised like you didn't like go, you didn't say a speech. And I was like, say a speech? I didn't have anything prepared. Like, what? But it was just so incredible. Vegas is a vibe. And I went to my first wedding. Follow the wedding itinerary. It's very important. It's crucial, crucial, crucial. Okay, what else? Do you ever get closure in a breakup? I don't think so. And I think that's okay, because I think closure is not bullshit, not to get on that rant, but I think you have to give yourself the closure. You have to validate yourself. I think it's kind of hard to look at the role we play and yeah, no, closure's not real. You have to be the one to give yourself closure. Truly, truly, truly. It's going to be 10 years in New York in September. And I think what I've been grieving and what I've been mourning has been the friendship breakups. Truly, it's been the friendship breakups and like the devastation of people like not being in your life anymore. Especially like people, your 20s is such like the self-discovery, the ins and outs, and like just like I think like the first love or like falling in love, you feel like this person's gonna be in my life forever. And when they're not, it is devastating. I moved to New York at 19, and when I moved, I literally had my first like black girlfriends, my first friends, and it's sad that I don't have those friendships. But when you go back and you reprogram it in your mind, I think all you can do is be filled with gratitude and gratefulness that like you had relationships, you had these experiences, and like you felt love. I think too what I was struggling the last couple months, excuse me, and just like crying, being sad, it's felt like wow, like am I ever going to like experience like that type of love again? Like whether it be first love or even like a grandparent love or my puppy dog Penny, or even best friends, I'm like, am I ever gonna have that type of like love again? And it's like very sad and hard when you like cry and it's snotty and you're sad and you feel like you're never going to. But I think that's just like a period. It's an emotion you have to like get over, or you have to get through. You can't get over it. You can't get underneath it. You have to like really move through it. And it's beautiful. It's life. I will say my great girlfriend, the guest that was on prior to the previous guest, Bree, she recently left New York. Shout out Bree. Follow her podcast, Bree the Black Sheep. It's fucking phenomenal. I learn something every week. Follow it, follow it, follow it, follow it. But she left New York, and even before she left, I like met these great group of girlfriends and just like wonderful people who I don't know, your 20s and your 30s, it's like marketed to be hell, but it's so amazing and so fun. Like when you just find, when you find your tribe, when you find like people, it is giving Sex in the City or it's giving Harlem. But we're not following Megan Good and her mess right now. It really feels good to find your community, to find your people. And there's been so much love that I've gained since like COVID, since 4 years ago, that it's kept me hopeful and it's kept me open to the more love to have and to experience. And two, shout out Brie, she said we had this like night. We watched the stand-up comedy show, we had drinks. She thought of this, it's like a famous meme, it's a quote, but it's like, "You still haven't met all the people that are, like, gonna love you yet," and that's crazy. That's crazy, and I really hope if you're feeling depressed, if you're feeling anxious, I hope that can, like, give you the slightest glimmer of joy, of hope, and that there's still a lot of people that wanna love you and wanna take care of you, but also take care of yourself on that. Okay, so these questions. I'm gonna go through some of these questions. I think I think it's important to really be still within yourself and to not ask others what you should do. I feel like as a creative and having so many friends who are podcasters or YouTubers, like you want to know, but there's something that's really empowering when you can like listen to your gut and your intuition. And the women's female intuition, it never lies. It never, ever, ever, ever lies. Okay, question number one. I keep moving the mic. I was like a little nervous because it's like my first time, but I'm good. I'm good. We're good. Okay. What is your relationship like with your body? My relationship with my body is, it's okay. I would say my relationship with my body is like, it's growing. It's growing. I moved into my first apartment, guys, almost a year ago, August 2023. And when I tell you, when you live alone, the fact that you can eat whatever you want, it's the first time you can have alcohol. I mean, I lived with roommates, so like I had alcohol, but like you live alone, you can do whatever the fuck you want. You could drink. So if we're being real, August to like my birthday turning 29, we ate, we ate, and it was crazy. Like when you get like just getting bigger, like your clothes don't fit. I'm like kind of like confused. I'm like, why? And this doesn't fit. And curiosity, being confused. But I'm like, bitch, you damn know, you had French fries Monday through Friday, and you've had a beer, and it's so important to do that. But I think I went ham. I went ham like the first 4 or 5 months living alone. It was really good. It was nice to do. So then in my body, and then even at the wedding, y'all, and you guys have seen the pictures. It's a gorgeous orange dress, but my arms, I was really like, and I was just so insecure with my arms, and that's okay. One, feelings are not fact. Two, your body can fucking change. And I feel like when I'm able to like have the thought come up and process it, I can let it go. Oh yeah, your arms are jiggly. They're arms. It's okay. Tone them. Do whatever. I don't feel the need to like go do a cool sculpt or like get an injection or do lipo. No, I like my body just as it is. Today, current day, July, happy cancer season. My relationship with my body is good. I feel very intuitively connected to it. My moon and rising is in Aquarius, and it's like in the first house. So, like the body, the appearance, and oh my God, going through my Saturn return right now, the body thing, the things that have happened, I feel really confident and really secure in my body. That being said, though, this little white dress, it's cute. It's a number, but when I'm like in the streets, I'm having to like shimmy it down. So, like, the sheer part doesn't, but I still feel good and I look good. Your relationship with your body can change. I think it's important to be kind and to be gentle with yourself and move your body. I think what's so crazy, even 4 years after COVID, this whack ass government still will not just tell the American people to walk, like move your body, eat whole foods, not that Bill Gates fruity fruit stuff in the grocery, eat real whole foods, go to your farmer's market and just move your body. Really, 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 really. Also, I found that when I move through movement, I'm really able to process like trauma and like process the things that have happened to me. What is your relationship like with food? Explain your favorite type of food that I like to cook or that I like to eat. My relationship with food in the past, it was complex. Little baby story with pizza and like eating disorder or anorexia. Like eating pizza, we'd eat it a lot growing up. And because like my brothers, they could eat like slice after, and I would just like get too full. I'd feel, like you feel like lethargic. I, like, did not wanna eat bread, and, like, my grandma would be toxic and say, like, like, "A moment on the lips, forever on the hips." She'd just say wild, toxic, crazy shit. Love you, Nana. But I didn't wanna eat bread, so I would just, like, scrape off the topping and just, like, eat, like, the cheese or the pepperoni or the sausage. I would just eat the topping. Um, and even, like, probably only within, like, the last 5 years have I just gotten back to, like, loving bread, to liking bread, to being like, food should be fueling, but, like, I shouldn't feel any type of way because they do say it's like a chemical reaction, like, when you're eating the food, if I'm feeling, like, sad or anxious or upset, like, I'm processing that emotional state with what I'm eating. You know what I'm saying? It's very, very real. So now my relationship with food, it's in a good spot. I really just try to listen to my body every single day. It's different. We are women. We have like this circadian rhythm, like a whole other different function system. We also get our menstrual cycle. Not every day is the same. And two, like just because someone has a really thin, skinny body doesn't mean like that they don't eat a lot. Or just because someone has like a bigger body doesn't mean like you gotta really deprogram your brain, your mind. And what kind of food do I like to cook? I don't really cook, but when I did like to cook, when I was cooking, when I lived with a man, I love a risotto. I love like a spaghetti carbonara. I love a breakfast food. Breakfast like reminds me of my childhood. So like I love a French toast, love like an egg, a bacon, a hash brown, love potatoes. I love like a loaded, a twice baked potato. And truly, it was never really cooking. I told you that like trauma story, my mom, my dad. I was really into baking. I have the best, most incredible memories of baking with my grandma, with my great grandma, and just like baking is so, you know what it is? Cooking is kind of like, okay, you can follow a recipe, but cooking is like improv and like trying and like salt. Fuck out of here. Baking is precision. It's factual. It's like no error. You have to like do it correctly. And then like you get a perfect pound cake or like lemon upside down cake or a cupcake. I love to bake. I love to bake. What do I like to eat or explain my favorite type of food to eat? I'm an Arizona girl through and through. And just yesterday, not yesterday, Friday, my girlfriend took me to a great place in Brooklyn. Mexican food, Midi, Brooklyn, shout out. They have a great happy hour menu on Bergen Street near Atlantic Terminal at the Atlantic Barclay Center. Y'all, I love Mexican food. Authentic. I could eat Mexican food every day, noon, sundown. Taco Bell counts, okay? Taco Bell does count, but I love like a breakfast burrito, a chimichanga, enchiladas, shrimp enchiladas. I could eat Mexican food every single day of the week, every single day of the week, and I, American girl, love American food. I do. I'm black. I love soul food. I love fucking living in Harlem because there's incredible. There's soul food on every block. Love I only eat my mom's collard greens. I'm, like, weird about that stuff. I don't eat other people's food unless, like, I trust you or know you. I love my mom's collard greens, but I love like, the fried chicken. I love dark meat, beans. Favorite foods. At what age did you learn to love your body? And then, like, in parentheses, I have, like, it's okay if, like, you're still learning, if you don't know, if I'm talking to my what age did I learn to love my body? I learned to love my body, I think during COVID because, it was like excessive weight gain, then like losing a lot of weight. I think during COVID was such an interesting, quiet period to be like, your body can change. Like your body can change. Also, they don't tell women, girls enough about our body and about that it changes. I feel like it changes at 21. It changes when you start having intercourse. It changes again like at that 25 curve. And then it like changes now at this like 29 to 30. Like the female body changes. It's wild. And I remember friends being like, "Oh, when I get pregnant, like then I'll get hips cuz the baby will pop out." Your body changes. It's beautiful. It's incredible. So I feel like during COVID, seeing that it can change, seeing that I have the power to change it, y'all, when I say I was on that track, Astoria, Field and Park at the track in a mask, running like a 5K, 3.5, running daily, I was like, the body can change and like the body's so powerful. So I would say maybe that 25, 26, I really learned how to love my body. But even then, it's like an ebb and flow, right? Because like you see your body change, but like maybe like you've gained weight and it's like love, it's hate until it's like just a flow of like, wait, my body literally supports me to live, to be alive, to keep me breathing. Even when we treat our body like trash, we're drinking, we're smoking. Maybe you right now are struggling, are suffering with an eating disorder, and your body's still trying to help you, to heal you, to love you. It's empowering when you can like really like love your body and feel secure in your body. What did your mother teach you about your body? My mom taught me, and wait, what's your like first memory of your body? Do you like remember your first memory of your first memory like with your mom? My first like baby little memory is like being in the shower with my mom, not being creepy. Like you know when like they first tell you got to take a shower, and I was always afraid of the shower because of like the water and like I thought it was just snakes. I think I saw snakes on a plane when I was 5. Nonetheless, my mom taught me to like love the skin you're in and just like take care of your body. I think the importance of self care, but really just like maintenance, not even high maintenance, of like bathing, of washing your skin, cleansing your skin, taking care of your hair, your makeup. And she was always so self secure and so positive. And I really think that's one, listen to the first episode of Black Girl Can't Cook. It's an interview with her. It's one of my favorites, but she's been sober. She's been sober, clean for like the past 3 decades. And just this natural self confidence and essence, I've just always loved that about her, regardless of her size. Like, she's just taught me that from such a young age. What is my morning breakfast routine? Morning breakfast. And I love breakfast. Weekday, if I can't do Pilates, it'll be a smoothie. And really, I don't intermittent fast. And I eat when I'm hungry. So if I'm keeping it real, I'll do a smoothie. I'll do like that beverage princess girl that has like the coffee, the matcha. I'll eat 80 million beverages. I'll drink them. And then like by that 11, 12, I get hungry. So if that's in, I listen to my body. I really do. Now, some mornings, weekend mornings, oh my God. Find me at like Daily Provisions. I love a bacon, egg, and cheese. Find me at Bonsoir Cafe, a French baker. I like love a bacon, egg, and cheese on a croissant, extra cheese, avocado, hot sauce. And also like intuitively eating is literally you listening to your body. When you're hungry, that's when you should eat. Describe your last meal, the meal I want on my deathbed. Right now, the last meal on my deathbed, it would be Jack in the Box tacos. If you know, you know. And some say the taco meat, it's not taco meat. They say it's cat meat. Oh my God. No, it's not. Maybe it is. It's good. It's real. They have the best tacos. And I don't think New Yorkers know about Jack in the Box. Okay, what's your favorite cocktail, mocktail? If you're sober, I'm not sober, but we dabble. Cosmopolitan, Carrie Bradshaw, Sex in the City. I don't even like vodka like that, but I like that it's pink. I like that it's light, and the vodka hits, and like you get a little lime. Also, I love a Shirley Temple. I'm a Shirley Temple whore, and at the Waverly Inn Garden, West Village, they put their like cherries and like liquor. So like I'll just get like the Sprite, and like the cherries are like alcohol infused. They're delicious. What body image issues have you struggled with in your life from adolescence to now? I would say just being bigger. Growing up, being predominantly in like white spaces, even like all my best friends, they were like tiny and white and short. And so I was always tall from a very young age. And I just think being bigger and then like I've talked about it in other episodes, but growing up and like the names that kids call you. I had like dreadlocks, and so they would call me like T-Pain, or like like they call me like Rob from like Robin Big. R.I.P. That black man died. So I think my insecurities have always just been being bigger, even when the arms, like being. And then to that, it's so fucked up and it's crazy. Then the psychology of how I've shrunken myself and like wanted to be small and like not take up space and to be insecure and to not be me. I've had to just learn how to be me. What do you love most about your body? What do I love most about my body? I love that my body loves me back. My body loves me back. It really takes care of me. I think too with like drinking alcohol, Or like eating, let's keep it 100. I had like a Popeye spicy chicken sandwich. Don't do it. Y'all do not do it. The way it just could not, or it tried to come out of my body, but even drinking, if I like have like a Long Island iced tea, or if I'm doing a shot of Fireball, the next day, like how my body gets rid and detoxifies stuff it doesn't like, it's crazy. It's insane. And it just tells me like, bitch, don't eat that shit. Don't drink that shit. Don't eat it. And like your body speaks to you. It tells you like every tummy ache, every headache, it's telling you something. So I love that my body loves me back and that it speaks to me. When cooking in the kitchen, whom inspires you the most or what? I'd say my mom. My mom is such a good mom and such a good homemaker. And I don't, even my grandma, I just think I look at the generations of all the Black women in my family, my grandma, my aunts, my mom, my great, I think of all of them and they inspire me. When I cook, you guys, I have not cooked in my apartment and I lived there a year. Shout out, shout out. What is your favorite candy, dessert, or ice cream? Okay, we're gonna pause. I have been to Bon Bon. Bon Bon is the Swedish candy store, TikTok viral. It's so incredible. I'm loving Bon Bon. And every time I tell you guys this, you guys go to Whole Foods and I can never get it. But I love the little Petit Floors miniature cakes at Whole Foods. They're like little mini petite cakes. They're really they're mini petite Petit Floor cakes. And I love vanilla. I love the lemon flavor. You guys, I will literally get 30. I'll take all the vanilla and like 10 lemon. My mom is like, "You're nuts." Literally go and get 10. I don't know how to do that. I don't know half measure. What's the biggest lesson you've learned from your body? The biggest lesson I've learned to my body is to listen to it. To listen to my body. As women and in this society, it is really like I would say right now it's a lot of distractions. Just distractions. Even one could say with the Kendrick Lamar, Drake, they not like us. And like the stuff with like the Nickelodeon scandal and like the music industry, because both Drake and both Kendrick are like with that CEO. It's a lot of corruption. The veil is gone, the veil is thin. I think that it's a lot of distractions. And when they distract women, I like lost my train of thought. I was like, what was my question? When they distract us, that's the big picture. They distract us from like the main purpose. What's happening in our society? What's happening in like the local governments with these laws? What's happening with our children? If you have children, I hope you keep them safe and tight and close to you. It's all just a distraction. So I feel like that's the goal. They want you distracted. They want you. Someone said during the debate, they were like, America is so sedated and like high as fuck. And that like made me giggle a bit because I was like, yeah, like Americans are like tuned out. It's not funny, but don't become distracted from your body. Stay in tuned and stay woke. Stay woke. No. Last question. I love this question. I try to end the episode with it and then or what does self-love mean to you? What does self-love mean to you, to me? To me, though, I think self-love means to accept yourself and to like accept your flaws. And I think really it means to forgive yourself. I really think in moving forward, when I can forgive myself from like the slightest thing, I can easily forgive others. But also, like, I feel lighter. I'm just not carrying this kind of heaviness, self pity, self hatred. I feel really connected to God when I feel that I can take care of myself, I can support myself. And I think when I can like authentically love myself, and it's hard. It's really, really hard. The messages we get every day in society, on TikTok, on Instagram. Like, can you hear yourself? I can hear myself. I love living in New York City. I love being close to Central Park, getting in nature, doing a workout. Like, it takes a lot just to get into stillness and to be quiet with yourself. So, self-love to me means like just forgiving yourself and to be like with yourself, to be happy. Those were the questions. I'm really, really excited. Guests will come back on eventually soon. But trying to like wrap up. This is a Bible. This book, and I talked about it forever ago, but you can, now that like we're on, and it'll be on YouTube. It's Louisa Hay, You Can Heal Your Life. I found this in my grandpa's library. This is like, this edition, y'all, though, it's like a booklet because it's like the pages and the writing. Thank you, Grandpa Nathan. Thank your angels. Thank your ancestors. They are always with you, and they are really up in the shit. So wait, this book is amazing, and it's been like a helpful little Bible, little tool. But on the back, she has like the list. So like if you have a problem, what is that problem, and like an affirmation to help. So this is a podcast on body image healing, on eating disorder support recovery. So if you're suffering with anorexia, which is like, appetite loss of, the problem cause of that is you're denying yourself. It's extreme fear, it's self-hatred, and it's rejection. And rejection, like, I really see you because I feel you, and getting rejected, rejecting your own self, like, it's so complex, so deep. But to that, here is, and then she offers a new thought pattern. It is safe to be me. I am wonderful just as I am. I choose to live in joy. I choose joy and self-acceptance. Say it. Say it back to yourself. Say it naked. Do it in the mirror. Be okay. Be okay. Be okay. And also, like, because appetite, I feel like when your appetite goes, when you're grieving, it can be so sharp and so stark, so sudden. And like, you got to feed yourself, but like, you don't want to eat, right? So to that, it's also like, it's fear, and you're trying to protect yourself. And she also says you're not trusting life. And that can be so complex, so crazy, so scary when you don't trust your life, when you're not present and you don't feel like every today in the present moment and trusting your life as it's unfolding in front of you. The new thought pattern she adds for that is, I love and approve of myself. I am safe. Life is safe and joyous. And I'm going to bring this back. I'm going to bring this back every week. We're going to get into it more and more. And I think it's okay. It's okay to feel your feelings, and it's okay to hate your body, but then to like fall in love and like be happy in your body. I feel so grateful to be halfway through 29. I don't like that the kids are like, last year of your 20s, last year of your why is everything like such like a fear mongering, I'm excited. All my girly friends in their 30s are so happy, so like themselves, so like just making money, just like in the shit of life, that I'm really excited. And I'm excited to be back with you guys. I'm really going to try, because I have to practice discipline and consistency. So like, this might be a little solo dolo the next 2-3 weeks, but we're going to get some guests on. Remember to tell your body thank you. And I hope you guys enjoy your summer. I hope you had a great 4th of July. Thank you so much for listening, for following, and to all my guests, and just to all the people that have really believed in me, that have kept following me. I thank you so much. And see you guys next week.